What's up, good people? Just want to say, follow up to the video I made this morning. I made a video this morning about 4:30, 4:45. I was laying down. I was asleep, but I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep. So pray God, what do you want me to talk about? What's going on? And he pointed me to Revelation chapter 3, verses 1 through 6. It talks about when John received the word for the message for the angel of the church at Sardis. Now we know from history that the Sardis is in the east. It's in the east hemisphere. It's not connected with the physical church directly. It's more connected with the overall spirit, the spirit of the church, because verse 6 says, "Whoever has an ear, let him hear. Let him pay attention." So that being said, it does apply. It does have application in Christianity up until now and beyond. So basically what that was saying is, I see your works, I see you trying to do the best you can, but you're not as pure and holy as you claim to be. And it says, I have things against you. The short version is, or to summarize that, what Jesus is saying is, there's sins, there's dead weight, there are things you're not doing right. People, you have a good reputation of doing everything you're supposed to, but there are lots of holes in what you believe and the way you're living. So with that said, we have to tighten up. We have to, we can't just be content in sin. We can't receive sin and say that's the best I can do. Makes me think of Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 through 30. And I actually thought about this. I thought about that this morning, but I don't know. It was 4:45 in the morning, and Naomi woke up, and I had to try to put her back to sleep. And I was just a little distracted, but that plus I was whispering in that video, and I failed because clearly I woke Naomi up. But in any sense, if we have, we have to fight sin. We have to, because Jesus. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Moses, when he wrote the law, it was an outline of things we should avoid, right? There were a lot of laws that were like civil laws, and like if your ox gores somebody, then you owe restitution for whatever damage, whatever collateral damage. There's a lot of things like that, but it's also a lot of laws. It's like don't commit adultery, don't covet your husband, your neighbor's husband or wife, don't steal, don't lie in court, so on and so forth. There's a whole lot of there's 10 commandments that we recognize, and there's 613 altogether that that is in the Torah. 613 mitzvot, commandments in the Torah. In any sense, we do have obligation to minimize and eliminate sin. The goal is to eliminate sin, but if we, at the very least, we can try our best to minimize it. Now, of course, there are things that are beyond our control. There are impulses we have that society has taught us to embrace as that's who we are. So that's the best I can do, and I'm not going to try anything beyond that. And I pointed out the verse earlier, James chapter 1, verses 5 through 8, that talks about if anyone has something if anyone lacks wisdom, let them ask God, who gives freely and is never condescending. Moving forward to verse 8, it says, if anybody's double-minded, don't think you receive anything from God. So what that's saying is, there's a couple verses in between that, but what they're saying is, God can lay out a plan for you, but if you're going between his plan and your plan and everybody else's plan, and you're so indecisive that you can't follow along his plan, then it's not even that he's going to withhold anything from you, but so much as the fact that you can't receive from God for the simple fact that you're bouncing all over the place. So, that also brings it back to Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 through 30. This is where Jesus says, if anyone is overburdened, stressed out, just overladen, can't handle what's going on, let them link up with me, yoke up with me, partner up with me, and I'll give you rest. I'll give you peace. I'll give you strength. I'll help you, give you peace. I'll give you, things that help you, and people that help you persevere and overcome your circumstances. I'm trying to say this real quick because I want to get back in here for Sunday school, but let's see. There's so many verses popping in my head. Matthew chapter 16, verse 24 says, if anyone should follow me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. Your cross might be your desire to, you know, sit around, chill out, and do nothing, when your call is to study, read, and preach. Your call might be to be a little more vocal on your job. Your call might be to write books, write poems, or write movies. Or your gift or calling might be to dance or to go to various places and evangelize. So whatever the calling you have can also be a cross in your life, because it's a responsibility that you and only you can take care of. So with that being said, talk to Jesus, talk to him, read the word, pray for wisdom, say, God, show me what my mission is, show me what my passion is. You know, because everybody ain't gonna be no preacher, everybody ain't gonna be no pastor, everybody not gonna be a street evangelist or whatever else. So you have to know what God has for you specifically, so that you can be in his will for your life. You know, and again, if you struggle with that, you don't know what to do, how to do it, he's always there, right? His spirit is always there. That's why he came and died on the cross, to get us out of the mentality of we can do it ourselves. But he is bringing his Father's kingdom in, so that we become citizens of his Father's kingdom when we're born again, and we can let his spirit flow through us. And we have an advocate. You know, we have the man Jesus Christ to stand before the Father and advocate for us. But if we just are dead in our sin, then, you know, we're not holding up our end of the bargain, right? Because we have a responsibility not to earn salvation, but to put salvation on display, to the point where other people around us will see Christ in us. You know, I think it's Matthew chapter 5 or chapter 6, where Jesus says, we're a city set on hills, not able to be hidden. So with that being said, whatever we do, wherever we go, however we act, whatever we say, people will see that. And if we claim to be Christian, if we've given them the impression we're Christian, what that'll do is that will reflect Christ to them. So if we're, you know, out here wilding out, cussing people, smacking people, stealing cars from people, you know what I'm saying? Just if we out here living grimy, that makes people think that Jesus is grimy, right? So that's it. We got to get right. We got to tighten up. And again, it's bigger than us. We can't do it on our own. But Jesus said he'll be there for us, to advocate for us, and he'll never abandon us. So, you know, as the old folks say from the King James, he'll never leave us nor forsake us. But you know, and I know it sounds easy to stop saying and live holy, but it is doable, right? Because we're not on our own. We have friends and around us. We have psychiatrists we go to, Christian psychiatrists. It doesn't take away from your faith to go to a psychiatrist. Going to a psychiatrist is pretty much the same as going to the pastor and talking to the pastor one-on-one, you know, at a given time, at an appointment, whatever. You know, because like I say, pastors aren't always available, because, you know, they got youth ministries to work with, they got other families to deal with. You know, they might not always have time for every single one of the members in their church. So it's on us to find help when we need it. And even if you have to look up a Christian psychiatrist, right? Because you can do a Google search for that too. I'm gonna get on out of here. Love y'all. Peace.